Your fish aren't dying because something suddenly went wrong. They're dying because something went wrong earlier, and the tests never showed it. That's the part almost nobody explains. If your water tests look perfect, but your fish keep dying anyway, this video is going to feel uncomfortable because the problem isn't your numbers. It's what the numbers can't see. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why tanks fail quietly first and why chasing perfect parameters often makes things worse. Before we break this down, hit subscribe, not because this video fixes everything, but because most aquarium failures don't announce themselves. They whisper. And if you miss those whispers, you only hear the crash. Now let's get honest. Most aquarists trust test kits more than fish behavior, and that habit kills more fish than bad water ever did. Let's count this down. Number 5, the test kit illusion. Water tests feel scientific, numbers feel objective, and when everything reads perfect, it feels safe. But test kits only measure snapshots. They don't measure stress. They don't measure oxygen swings. They don't measure how your tank feels to a living animal. Your fish live in the timeline. Your test kit lives in a moment. And here's the science most beginners never hear. Fish physiology responds to patterns, not points. A single safe reading does not cancel out repeated microstress. Cortisol doesn't spike because of one bad value. It rises because conditions keep shifting just enough to prevent adaptation. That gap between what's measured and what's lived is where most deaths begin. If you've ever said, "My parameters are perfect, I don't understand," this is why. And the next mistake explains why fish can look fine right before they die. Number 4, mistaking appetite for health. This one fools almost everyone. Your fish are eating, swimming, looking normal, so you assume they're fine. But appetite is not a health signal. It's a survival reflex. Fish eat under stress. They eat while fighting infection. They even eat while slowly shutting down internally. In controlled behavior studies, appetite loss appears after prolonged stress, not during the early warning phase. The first signals are quieter, fins held tight, hiding that wasn't there before, sudden glass surfing, small changes in social spacing. By the time a fish stops eating, you're no longer preventing damage, you're reacting to it. And the next mistake explains why stress often builds even when nothing obvious looks wrong. Number 3, micro instability nobody measures. Here's the part test kits completely miss. Tiny temperature swings between day and night, oxygen drops when lights go off, flow pattern changes after filter maintenance, biofilm disturbance on rocks, glass, and media. None of these show up on a test strip, but fish feel them immediately. Freshwater physiology research shows that repeated low-level stress raises baseline cortisol in fish. Not enough to kill them instantly, but enough to weaken immune response days later. This is why deaths often feel random. The damage doesn't happen during the problem. It happens after the tank seems calm again, which leads directly to the most dangerous habit of all. Number 2, fixing what isn't broken yet. Overcleaning, over-adjusting, over-correcting. It feels responsible. It looks like care. But every unnecessary change resets adaptation. Fish adapt slowly. Bacteria adapt even slower. And every reset forces the system back to square one. A stable tank can absorb small mistakes. An unstable one amplifies them. From the outside, it looks like effort. From the inside, it feels like chaos. This is why tanks with worse numbers sometimes thrive and tanks with perfect numbers collapse. And that brings us to the real killer. Number 1. Delayed damage. Aquariums almost never fail instantly. They fail quietly, then later. Stress stacks invisibly. Adaptation breaks gradually. Immune systems weaken over time. And then one day a fish dies for no reason. But the reason existed all along. It just never showed up on a test. Most losses are not caused by today's mistake. They are the bill from last week's instability. That's the truth most people never hear. Myth busting. The 3 myths that keep killing fish. Myth 1. Perfect numbers mean healthy fish. Perfect numbers feel like control. But water chemistry is only one layer of the environment. Fish respond to rhythm, predictability, and routine, not isolated readings. A tank with slightly imperfect numbers but stable habits is safer than a tank with perfect numbers that keep changing. Numbers describe water. Systems raise fish. Myth 2. If fish are eating, they're fine. Eating is not comfort, it's instinct. Fish will eat through stress because stopping feels more dangerous. By the time appetite drops, internal damage is already underway. Behavior changes first, appetite follows later. If you wait for fish to stop eating, you're already behind the biology. Myth 3. Water tests catch problems early. They don't. They catch chemical extremes, not biological decline. Tests warn you when disaster has arrived. They do not warn you while it's forming. Your fish are the early warning system, but only if you're watching them. The 3 truths that actually matter. Truth 1. Fish show stress before water tests do. Behavior changes always come first. When something feels off in the tank, it usually is, even if the numbers disagree. Ignoring behavior because tests look good is how silent failures happen. Truth 2. Stability beats accuracy. Perfect accuracy with constant adjustment creates instability. Slight imperfection with consistency creates safety. Fish don't need precision. They need predictability. Truth 3. Most deaths are delayed, not sudden. Fish rarely die from today's mistake. They die from accumulated stress. That's why everything looked fine right before it fell apart. Aquariums punish shortcuts later. If this video changed how you see your tank, you need the rest of the Stop series. Because cloudy water, algae, plant melt, aggression, and mystery deaths all come from the same habit: reacting too early and trusting the wrong signals. Click one of the Stop videos on screen and keep going. This isn't about fixing one problem, it's about breaking the cycle. And if you want tanks that actually last, subscribe. We don't chase perfect numbers here, we build stable systems. Drop a comment below. What was the first sign you missed before a fish died? Most of us didn't fail our aquariums. We just trusted the wrong feedback. Until next time, keep your tanks balanced, your glass spotless, and your curiosity flowing.